Hey guys, it's Steph, and today I'm doing an FIT Q&A video. A couple videos back I asked you that if you had any questions about FIT to please let me know, and I would totally get to you in a Q&A video. So I'm really excited to be answering the questions. I got a ton of great questions and I'm just going to get started because there's a lot that I want to get to answer. The first question comes from Lauren R, and she asks, do you have any tips for the applying process? For FIT specifically, I would say if you're a business major, the essay is super important. Just really focus on the essay. I know that's what they look at a lot. If you're a design major, you do have to submit a portfolio, but I don't know much about doing that. The next question also comes from Lauren, and she says, how are the professors in the fashion merchandising program? Do they help you with finding an internship or job? The professors that I've had so far are awesome. They're very knowledgeable. Like, all the professors are experienced in the business, so they have a lot of experience to share with you. They have really cool stories. One of my professors last semester worked with Perry Ellis, Tommy Hilfiger. They do assist you in finding a job. The fashion merchandising program, as well as the school as a whole, is really involved in getting you internships and jobs. Even when you're alumni and you have graduated, you can go back to FIT and still use their job search. So the next question comes from Emily Nicole XO, and she says, do you think it's worth going to FIT for all 4 years? Is FIT worth the price of out-of-state tuition? And her other, scenario was that she might go to a different college for 2 years and then transfer to FIT for 2 years. I know that a lot of people do that just to cut the price down, or just because they don't know what they want to do at first. I think it's worth going for all 4 years. First of all, it's just so interesting. You learn so much more from being there all 4 years. I feel like I am getting a more advanced fashion education than someone who's studying fashion merchandising at another school. There were girls in my classes who had come from other schools and they were already juniors and seniors, and they were in my freshman year class, so it was just I was ahead, and I was thinking I can only imagine the really cool and interesting classes that I'll be in when I'm a junior and senior, rather than this intro to fashion class. If you can work it out with the money, I think you're getting a better education at FIT for all 4 years, and I do think it's worth the price. It's one of the best fashion schools in the country, and there's really no better place to be if you want to do fashion than in New York. So the next question is from Dazzle Diva 21, and she says, is there a certain GPA that you need to get into FIT? If so, what is it? And FIT is very subjective with grades. I can't really tell you a particular grade that you need to get in. If you want to be a business major, I would say your grades need to be a little bit higher, because that's kind of the only thing they're looking at, because you're not sending them designs or artwork or anything. They're just looking at your grades and essay. So your grades do need to be good, because it's a very competitive school. Question 5 was also from Dazzle Diva 21, and she asked, was it hard to get into, and what do they look for on transcripts? I don't know what you mean by was it hard to get into. For me, I got in, so it wasn't hard to get into, but I would say what they look for on transcripts, based on my experience, is I had a lot of AP classes, so I showed that I challenged myself in high school. I also had electives like art. I was in AP art, and I took art since 9th grade, so I looked kind of well-rounded. I also talked about my YouTube channel on my essays. I'm not sure what they liked about me in particular, that is why I got in, but I think just overall I showed kind of a well-rounded interests, I guess. The next question is from Country and Class, and she asked, where else did you look into applying for fashion merchandising? And this kind of depends on where you live. I looked more on the East Coast, around the New York area. I have a video that I did a few months back, and it was all about applying to college, and I have a list of where I applied. But I'll list in the description bar of this video where I applied that had fashion merchandising in particular. Number 7, do you know anything about the cosmetic and fragrance marketing program, from Kristen P? I do. That may be what I want to do for my bachelor's degree. I've been looking into that, and I'm gonna figure it out when I get closer and when I develop more interests. But I do know the fashion marketing program is amazing at FIT. They're one of the only schools in the country that has that program. We are the only school in the country that has their very own cosmetic and fragrance lab. I think the program is really good because since we're one of the only places in the country, you can be one of the only people who have that degree, and that's really good for when you want to get a job, so I think it's great. What do you do in your fashion classes? Also from Kristen P. In my classes, they're more focused towards business, so one of my classes was fashion business practices, so it was basically like a business class. Like our class was a business textbook that like other schools would use just for like intro to business, but we had such a focus in fashion, which is what I loved, because if it was just business it would kind of be a little bit boring and slow. We focused a lot in fashion, compared it to different brands and different designers. In my intro to fashion industry class, we focused a lot on like big names and terminology that's used in the industry, which is really helpful. And we also take like related classes. I took an advertising class this semester and it was super interesting. We learned a lot about marketing, brands, and it was a lot of fun. Number 9 is from Makeup by Mariah 143, and she said, how do you like dorming and are the dorms nice? And I really like dorming. I thought that it could go either way with me because I'm not used to living with other people, but I really do like dorming. The dorms that I live in I think are pretty nice. I don't have communal living though, so that's kind of, I don't know how I would like that, but I do have my own bathroom, so. I'm gonna warn everyone right now. When I toured FIT, and if you tour FIT or if you have toured, the dorms are so disappointing because they show you the oldest dorm building, which is a traditional style, and they also show you like a room that they put aside for touring, like no one lives in there. So it just looks so like desolate and horrible, and it just doesn't look lived in, you know? Me and my dad were like in there and we're like, oh my god, like I can't live here, like this is horrible. Honestly, they need to stop showing that one because that is not a reflection of the dorms, and I've been to other dorms in that building that they show you and they're really nice. So for some reason they just show you like an awful dorm, so don't be alarmed. The next question is from Beauty by Davian 29, and she says, do you share rooms as people with the same major as you? I don't know if you're generally speaking or asking me specifically, but you can share a room with whoever you want. My roommate is a fashion design major, I'm a fashion merchandising major, and my 2 suite mates are, one is fashion merchandising and one is product development, so we're all different majors. Oh, she also asked the last 2 questions. So one of them is, do you have to take the SAT or ACT, and what score do you need to get? You do not have to take it at all. It's optional to send it to FIT, but I took it because other schools that I was applying to required it, and I wasn't just going to risk it and only apply to FIT. They do suggest you send it in if you took it, just so that they can place you in classes if you decide to enroll. That's how they place you in math and English courses. You don't need a specific score on the SAT since it's optional, or the ACT. They don't have any like deadline. I had a pretty low score on my SAT and I got in, so they don't really look at that. And the final question is, do you know anything about the fashion journalism program? At FIT there's no specific fashion journalism program, but I know that if you want to do fashion journalism, the right track you would get on is an AMC major, which is Advertising, Marketing, Communications. It's really interesting, and that's the major to get on track for fashion journalism. You would take like marketing classes, some journalism classes, and I know that they have classes more tailored to fashion journalism. So while there isn't a specific major for that, you could definitely tailor your career towards fashion journalism through the AMC major. So that's it for my FIT Q&A. I hope that was helpful for some of you who want to go there or are looking into the school. I really like my experience there. If you have any other questions, leave them down below or ask me on my social media and I'll get back to you right away on those. Good luck on getting in and applying, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!